Hi there. This is Veronica with Spare Hair Love Affair, and I am so incredibly excited to bring you what I consider a long overdue review on my latest WigShe wig. This is a custom wig that was created especially for me, wig number 113. Now she's custom all the way from the color that I envisioned in my head to the density, the length, the cap size, the cap construction, and I find her absolutely beautiful. I've had her for, I guess, about 3.5 weeks, almost a month. And I feel in that time, I've had a pretty decent amount of time to judge how she holds a curl, the quality of her hair, and that puts me in a pretty good spot to be able to provide you a good review on her. I also have had a pretty long history with WigShe, about 2 years, and this is my seventh WigShe wig. Four I have been gifted for review purposes, and three I have purchased on my own. If you'd like to learn more about this beauty, Wig 113, stay with me and we'll go through all the details together. I'll be right back. Hi there and welcome back. Today we are going to dive a little more deeply into the wig that I am wearing, which is WigShe Wig 113. She's been described as a multi-dimensional blonde with shadow rooting, which is exactly what I was hoping to get from WigShe. Now, as I mentioned, WigShe is a company that allows you to either select what they have on their website or to create something that is out of your own head, something that you are hoping is going to match your personality or your wig wearing needs. I am a full-time wig wearer, and I have been for over 2 years. From a biological hair perspective, my hair has fallen out about 3 times. I am currently in a stage of regrowth and have more biological hair than I have had in the past couple years. But it is insanely crazy. It is wiry, it is a different color, it is patchy. I'm going to be wearing wigs for a very long time, at least for the foreseeable future. And so, what I had asked WigShe for was a wig that matched as closely as possible to the color of my biological hair. Because it's in such a fragile state, the last thing I want to do with it is to do any coloring, any bleaching, or anything. So I wanted rooting that was going to match my biological hair. But I also love being blonde. And so I wanted a shadow root with a beautiful amount of dimension and blonde color. And I went back and forth with the representatives of WigShe with various photos to be able to achieve the color that I was hoping to have. And I am very, very pleased with the color that was the finished product. I'm actually filming in a location that is very unusual for me. I'm standing in my kitchen, but I have two windows that are kind of on either side of my face. And the reason I'm standing here is I think one of the most glorious perspectives of this wig is actually the color. It is absolutely fantastic, extremely natural, and this is the light in my home that I think affords the most natural and realistic perspective of this color on video. And although I have filmed this wig in different light and at different stages, I want to show you just at the onset of this video, in case you're thinking, oh my gosh, I want to click off, what the dimension truly looks like. I had asked for some money pieces around the face, and that was definitely accomplished. I also have a good bit of dimension throughout the entire wig. Another thing that I can tell you is that I am, by and large, almost exclusively a human wig wearer these days. And I had asked for something with a little more density than I typically wear. The other 6 WigShe wigs that I have been 120% density wigs, and I asked this one to be 150% because my hope was to be able to style it and leave it until it needed washing. And that is what I did with this one. All the magic happens at WigShe.com, and from here you can choose a wide variety of wigs, and each of those wigs can be even further customized. The wig I'm reviewing is 113, Breathtaking Multidimensional Blonde with Shadow Roots, Remy Human Hair Wig. From this menu, you can select your color, the wig length, which can vary from 12 to 24 inches. I chose 22 inches. The density of the hair, 120% or 150%. I chose 150%. HD lace, whether you want a full lace cap or a lace front. Your cap size, average, large, or small. Whether you want lightly bleached knots or fully bleached knots, and I went with fully bleached knots. And what I would consider the most important section, which is your special requests. Here's where you can communicate specific or unusual cap measurements, provide color clarification, cap construction requests, etc. And I wholeheartedly encourage you to communicate your expectations in this section of the order form. This is a close-up of the hairline before I cut the lace. And this close-up also gives you a pretty good idea of just how beautiful the dimension on this color is. Sorry about the forehead bruise. I had just gotten Botox a couple days prior to this, and it was a little rough on me. Here are a couple additional pictures outside in daylight. Shows you again just how different things can look in different lighting situations, but she sure is beautiful. So as you have seen, this wig arrived to me completely straight. I took her to my stylist and I had some very slight face framing layering done, as well as a little bit of layering done throughout the wig. There's not a whole lot of difference going between the ends of the wig and the layers that I had put in, but I'm somebody who likes to wear slight waves in my hair, and I think that layers afford me kind of the easiest curl or wave and go style. So this wig, after I had trimmed or layered with my stylist, I brought her home, I washed her, I let her air dry. She had a slight wave to her. I then waited until the hair was almost completely and totally dry. I took a hair dryer with a round brush, smoothed her out a little bit. And then I used a large barrel curling iron and put waves throughout her. That was 3.5 weeks ago. I'm going to go ahead and pop up a picture of what the hair looked like after I styled her that day. Those were the photos that I sent to WigShe and that were featured on their website. We are now fast forwarding 3.5 weeks later. This is how well the hair has held that curl. There was no styling product at all applied to this hair. I did use a heat protectant when I used a large barrel curling iron for these waves. But other than that, I did not use hairspray. I did not use any type of dry shampoo or any other type of product that would extend the life of these curls. They have fallen somewhat, which obviously I would expect because this hair is pretty darn long, and so the weight alone is going to pull the curl down. But this is what I am left with after 3.5 weeks or so. And I have worn this wig out about, oh gosh, I want to say maybe 40 hours, at least 8 hours a day, and for 5 days, 40 hours or so. And this is the style that I'm left with. Exactly, again, what I was hoping for. Now, what's very important to realize is that all of the hair that is used by WigShe is Remy human hair. What that means is that it is good quality hair. It is all cuticle aligned, so that when you wash it, you are not going to get a tangled mess. It is hair that is going to hold up for you. You don't get that all the time from budget human hair companies. And the second thing that I can tell you is that from a fit perspective, you're going to have 3 standard sizes that you can choose from. If you are in between or you are not sure, make sure that you are leaving comments in that comments box. That is one area of some variability that I have personally noted. I went ahead and just ordered the standard small size because it has worked out fairly well for me. This wig fits a little more snugly than my other smalls. Fortunately, that worked out great. This is probably the best fit that I have achieved from any of the standard small cap sizes that I have gotten from WigShe. Fits me fantastic. The ear tabs are exactly where I need them to be. And I think because I've got a little bit of a small over the top measurement, my head's just a little askew. This fits perfectly, but I can tell you it fits a little differently than my others. So if you are a little bit on the fence, a little bit unsure, Make sure that you are using that comments box to put your precise measurements in there. So let's dive in and take a quick old look at this cap construction. So I have already cut the lace on her, but as you will see, she has a very extended lace front that basically goes from ear to ear. On each ear, she has a pressurized clip that you can use. If you've got bio hair, you can tuck her in. If you use a wig grip, you can tuck that in underneath. She's got closed wefting that goes on the sides and back. She's got adjustable straps that hook into loops right at the nape, which will further allow you to adjust your circumference. You've got a comb that can be used for additional security at the back. You also have a comb at the very top of this lace top, which can be slid under your bio hair if you have it, under a wig grip, or if you have no bio hair at all, these can be removed. You can put a note in the special request box and they can leave these out completely. So let's take a look again at our extended lace front. This entire part of this wig is completely hand knotted and hand tied, which is going to give you the freedom to be able to part absolutely anywhere. This wig came with a center part and I changed that to a left-sided part because that's how I wear my hair. But as you can see on the underside here, we got a little bit of variation in color, which makes no never mind to me because you can't see it. When you look at the actual outer layer of the hair, it's blended extremely well. Don't grab your hair. Your wig, once you have the hair in your position, it's no longer a wig. It's your hair. Use your ear tabs. Slide it right back on there, adjust it, and there you go. Extremely, extremely comfortable cap. Honestly, the cap features on a WigShe wig are so commensurate with my higher end wigs that I have paid 2, 3, and 4 times as much money for. That is one of the things that I continue to be impressed with. These wigs hold up to washing, they hold up to styling. They are very, very well constructed. Good job on this one as well, WigShe. And finally, this is my first 150% density WigShe wig. The other 6 that I have are 120% density. And what I have surmised is that while this is an absolutely amazing wig, she doesn't feel a whole lot different to me in terms of density, in terms of thickness, in terms of the bulk or the amount of hair than my 120% density wigs do from WigShe. That being said, I do not think that that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't want a big old hair helmet on my head. I don't want something that screams wig. Granted, throughout my hair journey or my wig journey, I have become more confident with longer hair. I have become more confident with thicker hair. That's something that just takes time when you're used to kind of walking around looking like a chia pet with little tufts of hair. It takes a little bit of time and there's a progression in terms of getting used to having longer hair or thicker hair or fuller hair. But I guess what I would say is that I'm not quite sure that I would pay for 150% density as opposed to the 120% density. My 120% densities from WigShe have all been extremely generous. There has never been a time that I have had an issue where the wefts have been too far apart or I had been able to see through to the cap. 120% density, in my estimation, on a WigShe wig is very nice and full. It's a good density. It's not a light density, it's a good density. The 150% density, at least on this specific cap, while glorious and glamorous and positively beautiful, does not feel a ton different to me than the longest WigShe I have that is 120% density. So had I purchased this, I'm not sure I would have really felt that I got the bang for my buck in spending the extra money for the increased density. So that's just some food for thought there. Other than that, the feel of this hair, the fact that this is a very, very long wig and she does not tangle. She has not tangled for me. Oh my goodness, there's no way in the world I would ever have been able to wear a synthetic wig this long without wanting to whip the sucker off and tossing her somewhere because of what would have been a tangle at the nape of my neck, unlike anything ever seen before. This wig does not do that. Now, granted, I do make sure that every time I have worn her, I take her off and I will comb her out gently at the nape. I make sure I do that religiously prior to putting her back on a wig head. But it has been extremely easy to maintain and there are no tangles. So this has been absolutely a joy to wear. So I hope this review has been helpful to you. They also gave me a code of Veronica. And if you choose to make a purchase and you use Veronica in the code box, that's going to save you 10% on any purchase, which is a pretty decent discount. I want to give you a really quick look at this hairline styled as I have her. I think she's really good. And as I said, for me, I wanted to have something that would blend in with my bio hair. And I think that this fits the bill really well. She's also a really easy style to kind of pull with a half up, half down. That's one of the reasons I like to have some face framing pieces cut in here. And I feel good. I never thought in my 50s I would be confident wearing hair this long, but it works. It works for me. And I guess if it doesn't work for anybody else, I don't care. And that's what I want to leave you with. The bottom line is that you don't owe anyone an explanation for why you choose to feel confident. So just wear that wig and wear it proudly. And I'll see you next time on Spare Hair Love Affair. Bye.